Hi YouTube. I've been collecting back a lot of the toys that I used to own when I was a kid. It's just something I've become a little bit obsessive about. I don't know why. I think it's just because when I see them, it takes me straight back to my childhood, and I just love a lot of the toys I used to own when I was a kid. Some of the toys that I've got, I have kept since I was a kid, and they are the actual ones that I used to own. But a lot of others got lost over the years, or you know, stupidly sold at car boot sales and things. So I've just tried to buy back what I had, and usually I've ended up collecting a few extras as well. So today I'm going to concentrate on muscle figures. So I'll just show you these. Okay, so they're little hard rubber figures. These are the genuine Mattel ones. There are some called Kinkashi as well, which were made by Bandai, and they're a softer rubber, but I prefer these harder rubber ones. These are definitely the ones that I used to have when I was a kid. I've tried just to collect one of each of the flesh colour ones, because the flesh colour ones are the ones I remember the most from being a kid. But there are lots of different colours. You need to be a bit careful if you're collecting either the flesh ones, or there's another colour called salmon, which is quite a similar colour. And on eBay and places like that, people do sometimes get it wrong. You know, they might list it as flesh colour figures, and then when you get them you realise they're actually salmon, and vice versa, so be careful. M.U.S.C.L.E. stands for millions of unusual small creatures lurking everywhere, which is quite nice. So a lot of these, they're based on like little wrestlers. He's a sort of a typical one. I actually prefer the ones that don't look like little wrestlers. I like the ones that are a bit more unusual. So let me point out a few here. So look, there's this guy that looks like he's made of cubes. We've got this guy looks like a little football. So yeah, I definitely prefer the ones that are a bit more kind of unusual looking. This guy, it looks like he's made of tyres or something. And then we've got kind of like lizard looking ones, and there's one here that looks a bit like a gate. So there's some pretty weird and out there kind of shapes in here. This one, there's one that looks like a little sort of peanut or something. But yeah, I just love them. They're pretty unusual. There are some that are kind of a bit rarer and a bit more expensive to buy. So this guy here, for example, it's called the Claw. I think that one tends to be a bit more expensive. But there are like 236 in this kind of main set, and I have a big poster as well, which is it's kind of used as a checklist really. You can lay out all your figures on this massive poster, and I just need one more, and it's like the very last one, which is called Satan Cross, which is a little bit more expensive, so I'm just kind of looking on eBay and waiting for a slightly cheaper one to turn up. The other thing I would say is that there are ones that you can buy that are not on the poster that are called super rares. I suppose if you're really lucky you might find one in amongst some other figures that you bought on eBay that just wasn't on the checklist, but they tend to go for big money and don't come up very often. There are some figures that are kind of two-part, and they kind of join together. So kind of, yeah, two bits that join together to make up one, and that is a super rare figure. You just have to look out for those and kind of do your research if you wanted to go that far. There are a lot of different colours you can get as well. I suppose there are people out there that try to collect the whole set in every different colour, but because I'm trying to collect lots of other 80s toys as well, I didn't want to take it that far, so I just wanted to collect one of each of the flesh colour and then call it a day. And it is quite tricky to get them all because there are quite a few that are kind of similar looking to each other, and you have obviously got to be careful you don't just buy the same figure twice. Oh, here's another one that I really like that's unusual. Look at this guy. He looks like a pair of pliers. Pretty weird. He's probably one of my favourite ones just because he's so unusual. Okay, so that's my collection of muscle figures. They are, yeah, these are the harder rubber ones, so be careful because the softer rubber ones called Kinkashi, made by Bandai, they are a bit cheaper, so you might accidentally buy those as well. These are the harder rubber ones made by Mattel. They have a stamp on the back which says YSNT, and they've all got that. When they were available, they were in box sets, or you could buy them in sort of clear plastic cups, and sometimes you can pick up the cups and things on eBay as well if you wanted to collect them in their original packing. It's a good idea to search websites for checklists of the names of all the figures. That will help you to make sure you're buying the right one. And I know that there have been other figures made since these that are kind of similar. They're still officially kind of muscle figures, but they did a He-Man set, for example, and then in more recent years they did an Alien set, and they're really nice, but I'm just trying to get these 80s ones. I'll do a separate video on Battle Beasts, by the way. They just happen to be in one of these drawers. I like to keep quite a lot of my figures in drawers because it keeps the light off them, and I think that protects them, stops them from fading. But one day I might put them in like a cupboard on shelves to display them a bit better, but I'd still try and keep a door on the cupboard just to protect them. Okay, I hope this video has been helpful, and look out for my other videos because I'm going to be putting a lot of different 80s toys and memorabilia up, and it might just kind of take you back to your childhood too. Okay, and feel free to subscribe, and then any new things that I post up you'll be able to see. Thanks for now, and see you in the next video.